We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives, and when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
I do.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
I can't believe you didn't fill up.
That's double my rent. Not my car.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
You had one job.
It's between girls.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson at 304-LAWYERS or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball! It's time for the excitement of American Legion Baseball, featuring the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets.
Myers with the pitch, swung on and missed. Jason Myers gets the last out, and the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the state champions of American Legion Baseball in West Virginia.
Let's go live to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome back to Kaiser High School, home of the Golden Tornado here in Kaiser, West Virginia. We get you set for our second game of today in the Area 4 American Legion Baseball Tournament, an elimination game, our first one between Post 60 out of North Berkeley County, the Knights, Post 60, and Post 64, Potomac Valley. Dylan Bishop and Nick Verzolini with you here on the call. Aiden Sensabaugh behind the camera on TV 10. Colin McLaughlin and Talia Tompkins back in the studio. Nick, this is a matchup we saw just yesterday, but now it's a lot different scenario. We just saw Post 14, Berkeley Hornets, win the matchup here against Post 60. And now that means that the Knights, it's do or die for them and for Potomac Valley now. A lot of pitching used by the Knights in that game that we just saw. So now, kind of a last-ditch effort here from Post 60. This is a very important game. Essentially, whoever wins this game goes to the state tournament next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you do have some arms left because not too many guys went too deep into the game. So you have other options if Ian Wolf were to come out and struggle. But obviously, in terms of the guy that you feel like gives you the best chance to win for Post 60, they're going to need a good, deep performance from Ian Wolf, because if he gets slowed down or doesn't have his best stuff, then you're going to guys that already have pitched in this tournament, may already be a little bit fatigued. Wolf threw just 2 pitches the other night, so he should be fresh and ready to go. And this is essentially, like you said, punching your ticket here to the state tournament is on the line. Because whether you win or lose tomorrow, you're there no matter what. Post 14's already locked up a spot, and also the runner-up gets in no matter what as well. So this is the more important game. Now, obviously, tomorrow, you probably get some sort of banner or something if you win the area. So you get something with that area championship. But in terms of continuing your season, having a chance to play for a state title, which for Post 60 isn't probably something that they expected necessarily at the beginning of the year. Their goal was 500. Now their goal is state tournament. So even though their record may not be as high as they wanted it to be, they've shown the competitiveness and the ability to compete. So I'm excited for this game. I think it's going to be a really great game. We got 2 good teams, and we've had a great tournament so far, Dylan. So
yeah, with that, we see team taking the field.
Yep, Post 64.
Yep, and we'll take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have first pitch. Get this one started. Or we might actually need to just go with a 1 minute break, considering that they're out on the field here warming up. So I think that's a better idea. Let's go with just a 1 minute break so that we don't risk missing anything. Here, we'll get you the starting lineups when we come back after this 60-second break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
I like the layout of the course very much. I think it challenges the low handicappers and is very playable for the mid and high handicappers.
All different levels can play on this course.
I think it challenges you from the get-go.
And the first tee program here is one of the best, if second to none. It is the best in the state of West Virginia.
The men have a league, the women have a league, the kids have things going on. Like, it really is kind of the whole package here at Locust Hill. Everybody's very welcoming.
Love the folks here that play golf, but a lot of great relationships and friendships with people here.
You know, sometimes you can only judge a course by their members. We have a great core membership here.
I was able to build some fantastic relationships here, and that's why I've been here for 30 years. When you join any club, you're joining to play golf, but you're really paying for the experience. And the experience here at Locust I found to always be a good time and a fun affair.
To schedule a tee time, become a member, or see upcoming events, visit www.locusthillgolfcourse.com or call us today at 304-728-7300.
Starting lineups here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 are brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Go to Trips Flooring. Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. We're going to see Case and Plogger, the leadoff man for post 60, come up here in the top of the first. And as he gets his at-bat here, we'll give you the full lineup for post 60. And then the starting battery for post 64's first pitch comes in from Cam Lynch to Noah Broadwater behind the plate. Starting battery brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch fouled off. Our first pitch was brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. You can stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. It's a 1-1 count to Case and Plogger. He's going to swing and miss at this one for strike two. Full lineup for post 60 is Case and Plogger in center field, batting first, and it's Landon Pence at shortstop, batting second. Peyton Girardin, third baseman, batting third, as there's another foul ball from Plogger. In the cleanup spot is Trenton Canarium in right field now after catching the first game. Evan Williams, second baseman, bats fifth. Mason Everhart, catcher, bats sixth. Then it's Kyle Moore in left field, seventh. As Case and Plogger's going to hit this one on a line, and it's caught by Logan Roetruck down at the hot corner at third base for the first out.
Great play down there at third. I mean, they call it the hot corner for a reason. You hit one hard on a line, but the third baseman, Roetruck, right there to make the play. So good defensive play early on, Dylan. And again, we talked about it, possibly an advantage here in some ways for post 64 in this second game of the doubleheader. Even though it's an elimination game, you only used two pitchers yesterday. You're a little bit more fresh. You're not coming right off of a tough loss. So
strike one on the first pitch to Pence.
There's a lot of things going in their favor. We'll see if they're able to execute, though.
Second pitch is in the dirt for a ball. The post 60 lineup is rounded out by Brian French at first base and Ian Wolf, the pitcher, batting ninth. Gets you the lineup for post 64 when they come up to bat, bottom of the first. Here's the 1-1 from Lynch. The check swing off the bat for a foul ball. Top of the first inning is brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880.
A little bit of a mound visit here. As you've seen a few pitches be a little wild. But, yeah, I mean, also sometimes, just continuing from where you left off, you've already seen some pitches today, some live pitching today. While it's not going to be the same stuff that you're seeing, it can give you some momentum as well. So
the 1-2 is just a little bit outside for ball two. 2-2 count, 1 out here in the top of the first. No score yet. Lynch will be ready to throw the pitch to Landon Pence. This is going to be hit on a line to second base. And another line out. Post 60, this time the other side of the diamond.
That's a tough way to start a game, right? I mean, you hit the ball pretty well on both of your at-bats, but they're right two people on their lineouts. So, it's kind of just the way baseball rolls sometimes. The bounces don't always go your way. We saw that kind of in Game 1. As here's a fouled off pitch, but we saw in Game 1 a few balls just outside of the reach of Case and Plogger. If he's able to maybe get to those balls, you never know what could have happened for post 60 in that first game. It certainly would have changed the momentum.
Lynch readies. Here's the 0-1. And it'll be in for strike 2. Not a whole lot of production from the top of the lineup from post 60 in the first game today against Carson Buber in post 14. Because this pitch on the 0-2 is just a little bit outside for a ball.
I think overall, too, Dylan, post 14, we've talked about it numerous times throughout these broadcasts. Not a whole lot on the line for them. But for them to come out and get a run rule victory against a post 60 team that's been right there with them all season long shows that team's very locked in. And while, like we said, this game means a little bit more than tomorrow's game, not a team you want to be playing right now, I don't think.
After a ball to make it 2-2, here's a fouled off pitch from Girardin.
But again, both of these teams have shown the ability to compete with each other, with post 14. So, no matter how this one plays out, it should be an exciting championship, and I think both these teams will represent well at the state tournament if they're able to get there.
And here's another ball to run the count full.
I mean, post 64 ended up making a pretty deep run last year as the runner-up, so I want to say they made the semifinals, I believe, so it was a good run for them.
Payoff pitch is outside for ball 4. Well, at least I'll say outside. So that'll be a 2-out base runner for post 60. Brings up Trenton Canerium, playing right field now after we've seen him behind the plate twice in the last 2 days. First pitch from Lynch is going to be low for a ball. It's Mason Everhart behind the plate instead of Canerium today. Swing and a miss by Canerium for strike 1. Lynch readies, and he'll come to the plate again. And this is going to be fouled back. Makes the count 1-2. Evan Williams on deck if Canerium's able to extend the inning. There's the 1-2. Check swing popped up, and it looks like Lynch is going to be able to come over from the mound and easily make the catch for the 3rd out. So 1 runner left on for post 60. So we go to the bottom of the 1st. We'll take a 60-second break. We come back with more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
Post 64 for Potomac Valley. Gets ready to bat for the first time in this one in the bottom of the first, which is brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at Orsinis.com. The full lineup for Post 64 looks like this. They'll lead off with the catcher Noah Broadwater. Then it'll be the shortstop Blake Jacobs. Pitcher Cam Lynch bats third, and it's Logan Rotruck. At the cleanup hitter, batting third, J.J. Charlton in center field bats fifth. Jacob Netting in right field bats sixth. The seventh spot is Chase Davis in left field. Then it's Tyson Arnold at second base batting eighth, and they'll round things out with Uriah Cutter at first base.
Yeah, I want to correct something I said there. Post 64 more so made, I guess you could call it the quarterfinals. If it would be in a double elimination state tournament, a little bit weird there, but they lost to Post 94, and I guess I would call it the quarterfinals, who then lost to Post 14 in the semifinals 3-2 before Post 14 went on to beat Morgantown in the States. So
it'll be Ian Wolf on the mound for Post 60, Hedgesville High, now a graduate, throwing to Mason Everhart behind the plate, and it's a strike on his first pitch.
But either way, it was a good run for this Post 64 team a year ago, and they did that as the runner-up, so they're looking to do something similar this year, but they got to get past Post 60, and who knows, they could end up being the champs.
The 1-0 is outside, the 0-1 is outside for a ball, evens things up at 1-1, followed by a foul ball by the leadoff hitter Noah Broadwater.
It's going to be very tough, though, because, like I said, Post 14 is in the driver's seat, number one, Dylan. They only used Carson Buber today, so they still got all their pitching outside of him. So
there's a 1-2. Strike three called. Broadwater goes down on 4 pitches. Route number 1.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this game plays out because I'm always, I think you can enjoy any type of baseball game, whether it be that pitching duel or a hitter's game, but a pitching duel is always just so much more impressive, it feels like, because teams aren't giving up like easy runs or anything like that, and it feels a little bit more intense. I think we'll have a pitcher's duel. Ian Wolf, he just feels like a clutch player. Like every time it's a big game, big moment, and he's up, it just feels like he comes through.
The 0-1 pitch is a base hit down the left field line, and then going for 2 is Blake Jacobs, and he's going to settle at second base. Takes a little bit of a turn towards third, but he'll settle there. 1-out double for Blake Jacobs.
So I think he has the opportunity to throw a great game here today, but as we know, Post 64, Post 14, all these teams in this tournament, Post 60, they all have great lineups. So it's never an easy to throw a gem, but you talk about the 2 guys we have in this game, especially we're a little bit more familiar with Wolf and what he's able to do.
He's throwing to the other pitcher here. Cam Lynch fouls off the first pitch.
It could be that kind of game, especially with what's at stake.
So a runner on second with 1 out for Lynch up at the plate. Hit a home run yesterday, and he's going to hit this one on a line to second base. The chance for 2. As Evan Williams tried to dive back onto the bag and tag it to get the double play before Blake Jacobs was able to get back to the base. But Jacobs gets back just in time, so just 1 out. But a nice play there by Williams.
We do have a light drizzle, it looks like.
Yep.
So not too big of a deal, but
first pitch to Logan Rotruck is a foul ball. Yeah, there was concern early in the week that this could be the rainy day. Turned out yesterday was more so. There's still a little bit of light rain in the forecast tonight, but it seems like we've avoided it actually affecting the games today.
I mean,
This next pitch from Rotruck is hit past the glove of Pence at shortstop. They're going to round third and head home as Blake Jacobs. He's going to score, and then a bit of a bobble at the plate is going to allow Rotruck to get to second base.
It's more so, I think, the throw from
that too. Yep.
Short. It almost looked like he rolled it in there. I don't think that's what he intended to do, but that's kind of how he got over there to the catcher. And then, yeah, as you said, allows the runner to advance. So early lead here for Post 64, and that can be super important, I think. Charlton, of course, one of the better bats in this tournament, always seems to have a big day.
That brings up J.J. Charlton. Yep, strike one thrown to him. Rotruck had a home run yesterday. Now he starts today with an RBI single. There's a ball. Makes it 1-1. Wolf will give a look back at Rotruck. Now he'll come to the plate. Check swing. Looks like they'll say he did not go around, so that'll be a ball. So 2-1 count now. 1-0. Potomac Valley, Post 64 with an early lead. This next pitch is fouled off towards first base. So Wolf with an early run given up, but one strike away from ending things right there. Looks back at Rotruck now. Here's the pitch, 2-2, outside. And I think Charlton was tempted to go after that one, but he was able to think differently. So that makes it a full count, 3-2. And here's the payoff pitch to be hit towards the third base line, but foul.
You wonder, too, maybe Wolf thought he was going to be the guy earlier today, so now having to readjust in different situations.
Swing and a miss. Ian Wolf gets the strikeout, strands the runner on second base with that third out. So go to the second inning, but Potomac Valley Post 64 was able to get one run up on the board. Let's take a 60-second break, and when we come back, we'll have more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Spring into adventure this month at CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg. We have a great selection of over 80 new Chevys on our lot. Right now, you can get a new 2024 Equinox with up to $3,000 off MSRP. Or get a new 2024 Silverado 1500 with up to $8,000 off MSRP, plus $1,000 in trade assistance cash. And did we mention no payments for 90 days on select Chevy models? Together, let's drive at CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Go to the top of the second inning, brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit BurkeandSchultz.com. We play hardball. After a couple of hard hit balls in the bottom of the first, Potomac Valley Post 64 has themselves a 1-0 lead. As Post 60 comes back up to the plate, tries to get back even. It's Evan Williams fouling off the first pitch of the inning. Cam Lynch got out of the first inning with just a walk given up. Here's the 0-1, and Williams will look at it for a ball. Be Williams, Everhart, and Kyle Moore due up. This next pitch is also fouled off.
Yeah, Williams has had some good moments, especially on the defensive side. I mean, obviously he had a tough play to end the game, but overall he's been good.
And he gets him swinging. Another strikeout. This is the first one for Cam Lynch after 2 for Ian Wolf. Bottom of the first. It'll be the first out of the inning. Brings up Mason Everhart, who's behind the plate today after starting yesterday on the mound. He takes the first pitch for a ball. Everhart then moved out to right field at some point yesterday and then started the first game of today there. This is going to be another foul ball.
I think actually he might have moved to third yesterday.
He eventually moved to right field is what I was kind of getting at. I think he immediately moved from pitcher to third base, but then eventually moved out to right field. I believe when Ian Wolf came in for the last out. Right. Strike 2 on the 1-1 pitch. One, two count. 1 out here in the top of the second. That'll be ball 2 high.
But yeah, I mean, Everhart's had to show off his versatility throughout this tournament. Again, Coach Everhart wanting to try to get best 9 guys on the field at this point in the season. So, maybe sacrificing a little bit of defense because we have seen some defensive struggles, it feels like, a little bit for post 60.
The 2-2 was outside to run the count full.
And that was something he kind of preached in his pregame interview with me earlier today, is that he wanted to see better defense from his team.
And strike 3 looking on the full count pitch. 2 straight Ks for Cam Lynch.
And I think they had kind of their ups and downs defensively. They made some good plays, but definitely had a few plays in that first game that you'd like to have back, a few balls that were just outside of your reach. Again, that's maybe not a bad defensive play. Maybe it was just bad luck. But either way, I think they will look back on this tournament and probably have a few plays that they would have liked to have had back.
Kyle Moore steps in, takes a strike on the first pitch. Kyle Moore, we didn't see him in the first game today. We saw him in left field yesterday, though, and that's where he is again today. And he's going to swing at the 0-1 and miss it. Strike 2, so a very good start to this one for Cam Lynch.
Yeah, we didn't even see him maybe even pitch, right?
Yeah, and now the 0-2 is going to be hit up the middle. This is going to be a tough play for Blake Jacobs. Throw on to first is wide. So that's a 2-out base runner.
I was sitting there like maybe he did pitch, but then I was like, no, Kyle Rankin, not Kyle Moore, came in for a little bit. So, yeah, we've seen like almost everybody that was on this bench in Game 1 come in there and get some innings. So
we saw Everhart, French, Pence, Cumley, and Wolf yesterday.
They do still, I think, still have Peyton Girard, and he definitely pitched for Hedgesville. I was trying to remember where he ended up transferring to, but yeah, Hedgesville this last year, he pitched for them, so I guess he could be an option.
Ball 1 to Brian French.
I think he pitched in that first game against Post 14 that we saw that went to extra innings, so they do have a little bit more pitching than maybe we realized there because we haven't seen Jordan in this tournament yet.
Here's the 1-0. It's going to run inside for a second ball.
But they are starting to run out of arms, and obviously he's an option, I believe, unless, again, he's just not pitching anymore or whatever the case may be. But, if Landon Pence, they could probably still throw a little bit.
It's a 3-0 count now after that one.
But it's going to come down to offense, I feel like, here, especially with the way we've seen this game start on the mound for Post 64 with Lynch.
It's a pickoff attempt, not quite able to get him.
Yeah, Brian French has had a pretty good tournament overall. I had at least one hit yesterday. Had some good contact earlier today.
Lynch is able to get across a strike, make it a 3-1 count.
And this part of the order had a little bit more success against Carson Buber as well.
3-1 is low. That's the second walk so far from Lynch. And here comes Ian Wolf, who has had a great tournament so far in 2 games.
Yeah, I believe they moved him up a little bit for this game.
Now this is still the 9 spot.
I'm sorry.
Yep, still the 9 spot. This is Coach Everhart said he likes to be that second leadoff guy. The 9 spot, try to flip it back over to the top of the lineup.
And then they move French down.
Yep, strike 1 on the first pitch to Wolf. Now here's the 0-1. He's going to take strike 2. French was 5th in the lineup last game. I do believe he was 8th yesterday.
Yeah, so I guess they've kind of changed it up depending on if Moore's in the lineup or not, maybe.
Yeah, Kyle Moore, I believe, hit 5th yesterday. Evan Williams, we didn't see at all yesterday, so he's moved up. Ball 1 to Wolf.
Just trying something, I guess, to get it going.
There was also a bit of a change last minute because Mason Carter was supposed to be in the lineup, but he left for reasons unknown. Ball 2. So he's a last minute scratch, and they had to change the lineup around a little bit.
Oh, he just left completely. I thought for a second you were referring to being taken out of the game.
Nope, this will be a ground ball over to shortstop. Toss to second base for the force out, and that'll end the inning. So Post 60 is able to get 2 base runners on, but they're not able to do anything with them. It's still 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the second. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We'll be back in 1 minute.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We move to the bottom of the second inning, brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Through an inning and a half, still 1-0. Potomac Valley Post 64 against the Post 60 Knights. Ian Wolf gave up a run on 2 hits last inning, but he did also strike out 2. So we'll see the 6, 7, 8 hitters come up for the first time against him to start this one out.
Yeah, I think early on it's been a solid start for Wolf. You would have liked to not given up that run, but the strikeouts are certainly, helpful.
This is Jacob Netting to start things out, the right fielder. He will look at the 0-1 pitch in the dirt for a ball. Now Wolf will come to the plate again. It's going to be a ground ball just past the glove of Girardin at third base and down the left field line. Takes a wide turn but stays at first base, does Netting. So a leadoff single.
But I will say that Post 64, when they've made this contact, has made pretty hard contact off of Wolf, so they seem to be seeing the ball pretty well out of the hand. I mean, they did see him very, very briefly yesterday, so I guess maybe they got a little bit of an idea of what they were going to face today.
And first pitch swinging, and it's going to, again, just barely get past the glove of an infielder, and then on a bounce off the glove of Plogger in center field. So that means that Netting is going to be able to move up to third base instead of just second base. on the second straight single. So runners on the corners now with no outs.
Yeah, I mean, overall, these have been pretty high-scoring games between these two teams. You had, 17-7 the first time, I believe it was, 11-5, and then 10-7 yesterday. So it would fit the trend to get another one here in this game, even if Lynch has thrown really well in what we know Wolf is capable of, but it looks like Post 64 has jumped on him pretty good here early on, even though it's only 1-0 so far.
Ball one on the first pitch to Tyson Arnold, who started yesterday's game against Post 60 on the mound. Now he plays second base today. Runner goes, and it's a base hit on the hit and run. And again off the glove of Plauger, so the run will score from third, and the other runner's going to go from first to third. And on the throw into the infield over the head of Girardin, it's going to allow Tyson Arnold to get on to second base. So make it an RBI single. And now there's runners on second and third, and it's a 2-0 game.
You do start to wonder, too, how much is Post 60 going to have left in the tank? Because it is still very hot out there.
Mm-hmm.
They win the game yesterday. But like we said, if you end up in this game, winning yesterday isn't as big of an advantage. It's honestly, if you ended up here anyway, kind of better to lose that first game. Obviously you don't ever play that way, and you go in with the confidence that you could knock off a Post 14.
Yeah, just think about it. Post 64 has only used 2 pitchers so far, the 2 that they used yesterday. They didn't have to play that game today, and they're still in the same position. This is a base hit by Uriah Cutter. 1 run will score. They're going to send the runner home from second base around third. Play at the plate. Safe as the ball bounces over the catcher, Mason Everhart. And Cutter's going to go to second base. Make it 4-0. Post 64.
And the heat, too, playing a big factor. But obviously, all that, not an excuse at all. If you're Post 60, you got to still battle through it against this Post 64 team that we know is very, very talented. Like we said, they were just slightly the better overall team in the regular season this year. Last year they made it to the quarterfinals, I do believe, of the state tournament with an opportunity to possibly face off against Post 14 in a semifinal matchup. So they had a good run last year. They're a good team. They've lost a little bit, but they're still very good and very competitive. And Post 60 is a good team. All these teams it's rare that you get to an area tournament or in kind of like a sectional tournament in the high school season or once you get to regionals, it is all good teams, I guess you could say. But a sectional, sometimes it feels like, okay, well, we kind of know this team's out. They're not going to win. But in this area, it feels like all these teams could win and go far in the state tournament. I don't know if all of them can necessarily win a state championship, but, they've competed with the Morgantowns and some of the better teams in the state. So the opportunity, if everything, falls correctly, is there. But Post 64 right now, they're swinging a good bat. They're showing off what they can do, and Lynch has pitched tremendously for them.
We have a 1-1 count to start things out to Noah Broadwater in his second at-bat. Swing and a miss, make it 1-2. So now here's your concern. 25 pitches into Ian Wolf's start. He's already given up 4 runs, only gotten 3 outs. And we've already talked about this. We were kind of, if you're Post 60, as we got a pop up towards right field. It's going to be a play for Trenton Canaria. Maybe it is out of play. Foul ball. So the hope was, okay, you used all of that pitching through the first 2 games. Use a few pitchers against Post 14, but you still have Ian Wolf. But now he's given up 4 runs here with no outs in the second inning. So he needs to recover, because at this point it's how much pitching can you really have left when you were starting to struggle against Post 14 last game. Here's one, Noah Broadwater, deep left field. Looking back on it is Moore. He jumps up, tries to make a catch. It goes into his glove and comes out. It looked like it could have been a home run. Moore jumped up for it as if he was going to need a robbit of a home run. Falls out of the glove.
I mean, it looked like, based off the reaction and everything, that ball was going to leave this park. But it just barely did stay in. I feel like more leaping up did keep it in because that fence not very high out there.
Yeah.
So, with that ball's power, and since he felt like he had to leap, it probably would have just went over the fence if he didn't.
Ball one to Blake Jacobs to start his second at-bat.
But that's a tough catch, obviously, and that puts you down with two more guys in scoring position. And, yeah, I mean, we're talking about all this pitching. It may not matter. I mean, the way Post 64 is hitting the ball, if they continue to build a big lead. But, again, we saw yesterday. So I don't want to count anybody out in this thing because I feel like we kind of counted Post 64 out, and they made it very close.
It's true. Swing and a miss to make it a 1-2 count to Jacobs, who had the first hit of the game, a double down the line in the first inning. And the wind starts to pick up here at Kaiser.
We got some clouds over there in the distance, but I think we'll be all right. I mean, but it does almost feel like something's brewing here, doesn't it?
2-2 count. Yeah, it's some nasty-looking clouds and some wind rolling through, so see what the weather looks like. It's 2-2. Now this is on the ground and past the glove of the shortstop. One run will score easy. The other one will be held up at third. Make it 5-0. RBI single for Jacobs.
Look, Dylan, we know Post 60. They can't get through a whole day for us without a delay. I really hope it doesn't happen, though. Obviously, that would kind of, ruin all the momentum. But it just, every time we've been there, it's just turned into that. So hopefully that stays off. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, though, even if it does come down.
Yeah, I don't have service on my phone here in Kaiser to check the weather updates to see if anything has changed. But looking at it earlier, it looked like there was, only a chance of rain really around 9 o'clock or so, 10 o'clock, and it wasn't a whole lot as the runner goes on the first pitch to Cam Lynch, stealing second base. Puts the runners on second and third. Catcher's indifference just lets him go to avoid the runner coming home.
Our chances have increased to 55%. In terms of how much rain, I don't think it's going to be too much.
Foul ball on the second pitch, 0-2. Cam Lynch has a chance to add some more insurance to himself up on the mound.
Yeah, still not supposed to come until 9.
There you go.
Aiden made the camera look a little bit better for everybody. It doesn't look as dark as it did on the camera there for a moment. It looked like we were having a golden tornado out here, but that's just the team name.
Still 0-2 after the foul ball. Lynch had a home run yesterday. He's going to hit another one foul towards Post 60 dugout on the third base side. It's Lynch and Rotruck, who had the home runs yesterday for Potomac Valley, Post 64. They're hitting third and the fourth in the lineup today. Here's another 0-2 from Wolf. It bounces in front of Everhart. He's able to block it, though. So the runners stay on second and third. It's 5-0, Potomac Valley, Post 64. Still no outs in the bottom of the second inning. Ian Wolf up to 40 pitches. Here's another 1-2. Foul ball towards the right field side.
Overall, it's been some really good at-bats, too, from Post 64. I mean, they've either, just saw the pitch they liked early in the at-bat and fired it right back at that defense at Post 60, or kind of grounded it out.
Another one that just barely gets past Landon Pence at shortstop. One run scores. Here comes the second one trying to. It's cut off by Ian Wolf, so both will score. It's 7-0 on the 2 RBI single by Cam Lynch.
Yeah, I don't know what you have left, but you got to try to maybe make a change. Maybe, again, a little bit too late, maybe. But I think this is it for Ian Wolf. So, again, my guess is Peyton Girardin, but I don't know for certain since we haven't seen them all year, and I don't know what their situations are with him since he hasn't been called upon yet. So, may not be him. Maybe Landon Pence. Looks like it's going to be Landon Pence. That was my other guess.
Yeah, Pence only threw 30 pitches or so yesterday.
I feel like if Girardin was an option, they would have turned to him by now, just based off of the experience. So I'm guessing his pitching situation just isn't a thing for this team.
They might, or it's just one last gasp with Pence before resorting to it. But with that, 7-0, no outs in the bottom of the second. We'll take a 30-second break as Post 60 changes pitchers. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
The day is done early for Ian Wolf. Gets through just one inning. It'll be Landon Pence up on the mound for post 60. I think he would have been the closer yesterday for the final 2 innings, but reached the limit. So that's when we saw Ian Wolf for just 2 pitches and 2 strikes to strike out the last batter of the game yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Landon Pence, I said this yesterday, he has that calming presence out there on the mound. So, hey, you're down 7-0, but a lot of the times when he enters the game, he's able to calm things down, kind of keep you in the game, and if you can keep it, without getting to that run rule or whatever the case may be, you still always have a chance. So 7-0, while it feels like a huge lead, it's still not over with so much baseball left to be played.
First pitch from him is a ball in the dirt that Mason Everhart has to do a really good job of to pick out and keep from going to the backstop.
But the other thing is, like you said, Pence did pitch yesterday, so he's probably feeling a little bit fatigued even with the low pitch count.
Yeah, I think it was either 25 or 30 that he threw right on the dot.
I think it was exactly 30 if I remember correctly.
Strike one. And he pitched an inning and 2/3 right up to the last out, had a 3-1 count to the last batter of the game, and then Ian Wolf came in and threw 2 strikes to strike him out and get the win. Row Truck hits this one on the ground, and it's off the glove of Peyton Girardin.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. Just unable to quite get to a ball here and there. Ball goes through the infield.
Excuse me, there's actually been a little bit of maneuvering. I believe Girardin's now at shortstop. It is Trenton Canarium.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At third base. Saw the number 15 there. Ian Wolf has moved out to right field.
Yeah, if Pence is pitching, usually, Girardin seems to move to short. But
Girardin's at shortstop. Canarium is the one who's the glove that bounced off of. First pitch to J.J. Charlton's a foul ball. So runners are on first and second now.
Yeah, it's been a huge inning. I mean, overall, just a great start for this post-64 team.
And an attempt at a check swing ends up going around, so it's an 0-2 count. Charlton struck out looking in the first inning. This is the 9th batter of the inning, and there's still no outs. Another foul ball. The final line for Ian Wolf is 1 inning, 1+ innings in the end. Couldn't get an out in the second inning. Gets himself 2 strikeouts, but gives up 8 hits and 7 runs, all earned.
That's tough.
0-2 from Pence. On the inside corner, called strike 3.
I mean, we know how good Wolf is capable of pitching, so he just didn't have it, though. And that happens. And again, these games have been very high scoring, so post-64 seems to see the ball pretty well against this post-60 lineup, or post-60 pitching staff.
Jacob Netting will take a strike on his first pitch of his second at-bat of the inning. They tried to get the runner over at third, sleeping, and they threw it into left field. So
Actually, the runner caught them sleeping. It was the opposite because he took off from second to third because nobody was covering third. So he took off as the ball went back to the pitcher, but nobody was really close. Canarium was kind of down the line a little bit. He looked like he wasn't really paying too much attention, and then runner goes into third, and by the time he covers, Pence throws over because obviously you just don't want to give up a free base.
So the end result is an 8th run up on the board. There's now just a runner on second, and now it's a 1-1 count after that pitch.
Yeah, so tough break there. If if you're post 60 and great base running from post 64.
Pence looks back at second base. Now he'll come to the plate. That one's inside, brushes back netting a little bit. Netting started out the inning with a single off of Wolf, and he came around to score, as has every base runner so far for post 64. Foul ball, and this one makes it 2-2. Cam Lynch on the other side, pitcher for post 64. 45 pitches through his first 2 innings. Here's a 2-2, swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts already for Landon Pence.
You wonder how Lynch comes back out, because it's been such a long time since he's pitched now. This has been a huge inning, long inning. So, if you're post 64, obviously, you hope he didn't cool off, even though it has cooled off significantly here.
First pitch to Davis is a ball. Landon Pence had 4 strikeouts yesterday in his inning and 2/3 worked. So he's got 2 more added on so far.
Yeah, again, he keeps you in the game when you need him to. So not a bad option at all. You just wonder if he's at all fatigued.
Here's the 1-0, runs inside on Chase Davis. Davis also singled in this inning in his first at-bat. 2-0 count. Pence looks back at second base. Now here's the pitch. Be hit in the air, high into the air, but shallow. Shallow enough that it's not going to make it out of the infield. And Girardin is going to make the catch for the 3rd out and mercifully end the inning for post 60. After 7 runs come across the score, it's now 8-0. Post 64, Potomac Valley leads. It'll move us into the 3rd inning after the 60-second break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
3rd inning now, here from Kaiser High School for the American Legion Area 4 West Virginia tournament. An elimination game between Post 64, here from Potomac Valley, and Post 60, the Knights from North Berkeley County. 8-0, Potomac Valley leads after a 7-run inning in the last half inning that we saw. They've gotten into the bullpen already. Ian Wolf gets shelled for 7 runs. 8th comes across the score on an error. Now Cam Lynch will try to keep this big lead for Post 64. First pitch in for a ball to Kason Plogger for his 2nd at-bat. Top of the 3rd is brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page, and they'll foul ball to make it 1-1.
So now I think it partially comes down to composure for Post 60, because you look up, you're down a significant amount of runs.
Strike 2 called.
For some of these guys, it's probably their last opportunity, depending on their age, to play for this team if you were to lose. So that's probably in the back of your mind.
1-2 count. This one's hit on the ground to third base by Plogger. Easy throw over to first by Rotruck to Cutter for the first out.
So you just got to try to stay locked in, try to focus on one at-bat at a time, and you can't get it all back with one swing. It's a cliche, but it's true. And if you can, work your way back in, just get on base and start getting back into it, 2-3 runs here or there, and you're right back in the game. So,
ball one into the first pitch to Landon Pence, and now this is a pitcher versus pitcher. After Pence moved from shortstop to relieve Wolf. Here's the 1-0. Strike one. Again, it's gotten windy and cloudy over here at Kaiser. Here's the 1-1 with one out over the head of Pence. 2-1 count.
You may be able to hear a little bit of wind on our mics, but look, overall it just feels a lot better.
It does feel better now. And this is going to be hit into center field, and it's going to drop in for the first hit of the day for post 60. A one-out single for Landon Pence. Gives themselves another base runner.
Again, Pence, he keeps you in games, like just getting on base there, great pitching on the mound, whatever the case may be. He keeps things rolling for this team, and when they need something to get rolling, even. So he's a good player. You got like Landon Pence. Can play a few different positions in the field. Obviously pitches pretty well. Solid bat.
Brings up Peyton Girardin. Drew a walk his first time up. He's going to look at the first pitch for a strike.
And this is, the top of the order. So if something were to break through for post 60, these guys are the guys that you expect to get it done.
The 0-1 does not catch the outside part of the plate that time, so it's a 1-1 count. Quick look over to first by Lynch, and now to the plate. Swing and a miss for strike two. So Girardin will step back in. Pitcher's count. And here's the pitch. That's going to bounce away from Broadwater. It's going to let Jacobs move from first to second. It's now a 2-2 count. So a runner in scoring position now for post 60. See if they can cut into this lead at all. 2-2. Called strike three. Girardin not happy. Hard to tell if it's with the umpire or with himself, but he'll walk back to the dugout with now 2 outs in the inning. It's the third strikeout for Cam Lynch. Brings up Trenton Canarium with 2 outs. He's going to swing at the first pitch and foul it off. Canarium ended the first inning with a pop-up right to Lynch. Here's the 0-1. It's going to catch the zone for strike two. Tough sledding here for post 60 to come back. It's 8-0 here in the top of the third.
Still a lot of ball left, but yeah. You are kind of almost running out of opportunities if, especially post 64 adds a few more runs, then the pressure's really on.
Ball one.
And it feels like you need a run or two here to feel good about any chance for a comeback, even though there is a lot of baseball left.
And now second pitch outside the zone.
Just because they just had a huge inning. And even with Pence, though, out there, it can be tough.
2-2 is going to run inside and clip Canarium on the foot. Hit by pitch. Puts a runner on first and second. It's a third walk. First hitter that's been hit by Lynch. Strike one on the first pitch to Evan Williams, who was the first strikeout victim of Lynch back in the last inning. Here's the 0-1. This can be a breaking ball hit on the ground towards second base. It's going to be Tyson Arnold, be able to get it into the glove and take a step over to his left and put his foot on second base for the third out. So a couple base runners, but nothing doing for post 60, not able to cut into the deficit. Still 8-0 post 64. So we take a 60-second break on our way to the bottom of the third. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Welcome back to a now windy Kaiser High School
too.
Field. And yeah, I think the rain has started to come in a little bit, a little earlier than expected.
It's nothing significant, though.
No, the bottom of the third, brought to you by the team at Century 21, Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state, they have you covered. And nothing crazy, at least not yet. I don't think it's supposed to get crazy, but the wind is blustering out here.
The wind's a little crazy, but
yeah, you can probably hear it on our mics as they come through the press box window.
Yeah, as long as we avoid lightning, we should be fine. Which I don't think it's supposed to be thunderstorms, just a light rain.
Not in the forecast that I know of. Swing and a miss on the second pitch makes it 1-1 to see who we have up to start the inning here. It's Tyson Arnold.
And like we said yesterday, the field kind of looked better after it rained because it hasn't rained here in probably a long time.
Yeah,
so
the field, you could even say, still looks a little dry. It could have used a couple coats of rain, you could say.
For sure.
2-1 after that next pitch.
As long as it doesn't get unplayable, everybody's cool with that.
Yeah, and we heard talk of as a foul ball and makes it 2-2. Coaches yesterday during the rain saying they have the quick dry out there that they can throw on the field if need be. So I don't think getting through this game here today is going to be any sort of issue, but it might make the conditions a little slippery for some fielding and for pitching as this next pitch runs the count full at 3-2.
And if we get through 5, the game is
swing and a miss, strike 3. Landon Penn strikes out another.
Concluded, so if for some reason it were to get worse, even though, like we said, it's not really calling for anything too bad. So
there's a couple ways we could only play 5 innings in this one, considering it's an 8-0 game. Although Landon Penn doesn't look like he's in any sort of type of mood to give up 2 runs. Ball 1 into Cutter.
Yeah, so just be aware of the situations as the rain does pick up a little bit, but again, it's still not really a heavy rain.
Here's the 1-0 from Pence. Cutter's going to foul this one off to the right field side. Next pitch from Pence is going to be chopped in play towards third base. Play for Canarium. Throw on. Safe. They're going to say the foot of Brian French came off of first base. So I don't think Post 60 is very happy with that call. They'll get an appeal. Coach Everhart coming out.
The rain is kind of getting a little bit consistent here.
And the appeal, nothing doing there. So the runner will stay on first. And yeah, okay. The rain's picked up a little bit. No sign yet of any stoppage coming. So it's a runner on first with 1 out. Top of the order comes back up for post 64, Noah Broadwater. Takes a ball in the dirt. Start off the at-bat. Almost hit one out of the park last time around. Kyle Moore got it into the glove to at least keep it from doing that, but then it dropped out of the glove, so he made it to second base. Another one bounces by Pence. 2-0 count. And now the rain has started to go back towards a little sprinkle, so we had like just a mini uptick for a minute. Now the wind has died down as well. Two-0 count to Broadwater. Here's the pitch from Pence. That one will come in for a strike. Broadwater struck out looking as the very first batter of the game in his other at-bat. Now here's a 2-1. Chopper towards third base, and it's just barely going to go foul, though.
Yeah, right now if you're watching on TV 10, I had Aiden run over, grab our other camera since it doesn't have really any water protection. So there may be a little bit of, kind of a not the best view for just a few moments here.
But Aiden does a good job with his camera, so.
Right, but I'm saying like he's grabbing it right now, so he's not at his camera.
Gotcha.
But he should be able to make it back in a quick period.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3. Full count.
But if if it does for some reason go for an extremely long time, which it won't, he's probably already back, you can just go close your eyes and listen to Dylan Bishop. And he'll paint the picture. And I'll try to fill it in with the color.
We are on the radio, so obviously that's what I'm trying to go off of. 3-2 count is high. Above the head of Broadwater, it'll be a walk. The rain started to
get us a secondary shot as well.
Yeah, I think Aiden found a spot inside the press box somehow with a camera.
That's not really the best, though. But it was a good effort.
He's trying.
We'll give him a 6 out of 10 on that one.
You can never fault Aiden for his effort.
Effort-wise, it's a 10 out of 10.
Of course.
Runners on the shot itself.
Runners on first and second. Blake Jacobs back up. Takes a ball on the first pitch. Still 1 out. Still 8-0. Here in the bottom of the third. It's the 30th pitch by Landon Pence. That's how many he threw yesterday. He wasn't throwing it through the rain, though. Bit of time. Pence will step off.
I also respect Aiden right now because.
And I think they're going to walk the teams off the field wait for the rain to slow down.
I'll just slow down.
Well, how about that?
Play ball.
How about that? Let's see.
Maybe it'll take a little bit of time to rake it out a little.
Maybe. Let's see.
Looks like they are going to delay.
Yeah, I guess you might as well take a few minutes since you just called the delay.
It does. Again, the field doesn't look too bad. It's just kind of with all that rain.
I think Pence,
it's more so playing conditions, Pence pitching, all that stuff.
You saw right before they called it, Pence stepped off as the rain got heavy. He stepped off himself and kind of gave a look back at the umpire, just kind of be like, "You're really going to make me pitch in this?"
Right. And then it stopped. It was
magically, yeah.
I mean, it may still be raining slightly, but it's not nearly as heavy as it was just a few moments ago. I think it is still kind of spinning, but nothing too crazy, yeah.
It's almost as if God looked down and said, "No, Landon, I got you. I understand. You don't like the rain."
Right.
So I think
Everhart's going back out there, so yeah, we're going to continue.
Yeah, there's Cutters going back to second base, so I think, there's the
shortest rain delay in the history of rain delays. But hey, I'm still counting it. Post 60 streak continues.
It does, yes. You can't get through a game with post 60 without a delay.
Or at least a day. We did get through a game, but not a whole day.
True, a day, yes. So just like that, we don't have to go anywhere.
They got to drop the Knights' name and be the Thunderstorms. That's probably a bad name for a baseball team.
The Thunder?
Yeah, just the Thunder.
That's a good name. Good name for a basketball team, if you ask me. It's the best name for a basketball team.
But this is a good name for a baseball team. You can play in Thunder and basketball. Can't play in Thunder and baseball, most likely.
That's a good point.
The Storms.
The Storm, the Seattle Storm. Good basketball team right there. Although we probably should avoid the whole Oklahoma City, Seattle thing.
Colin brings up a good point. The Trenton Thunder.
The Trenton Thunder. There you go. AAA for the Yankees?
I believe so, yeah. That would make sense, at least.
We have a 2-0 count and then a 2-1 count after a strike called. It's a touchy subject when you start combining Seattle and Oklahoma City. Seattle people aren't too fond of the Thunder.
I heard Oklahoma City people aren't too fond of the Storm.
I don't like storms in general. I like the Seattle Storm. Big Sue Bird fan. We had a 3-1 count and then ball 4. That loads the bases.
Well, the rain did kind of pick back up, didn't it?
Maybe a little bit. So that's the first walk given up.
I do hope it would just kind of stop, because it is kind of, I'm sure, annoying for the players.
Mm-hmm. Bases are loaded with 1 out for Cam Lynch. Yeah, the rain just kind of comes and goes in terms of intensity. Swinging strike 1 to Cam Lynch on the first pitch of this at-bat. It really has not been at a consistent, steady pace at all. Strike 2 looking. Big opportunity for Cam Lynch to extend the lead even further as it's still 8-0, but bases are loaded with 1 out. 0-2 pitch, fouled off.
It might be good now. I don't know.
It's hard to tell, Nick. It stops, it starts, it gets heavy, it gets light. Now we've gone back to light or none. A small time called. Coach Broadwater yelled into the dugout for something. But back to the 0-2 count. Pence, this is pass to the backstop. It's going to allow Cutter to score from third. The other runners advance to second and third. So it's now 9-0, post 64.
Yeah, again, like we said, if they're able to get to 10, then you start to run out of some opportunities to get back into the game. Obviously, run rule isn't guaranteed at that point, but it becomes a possibility.
This is going to be hit into the air to right field. Potentially a chance to tag up. The runner is going to come home on the catch by Wolf, and his throw is going to be off target to potentially get the runner out. So to make it 10-0, and the throw was off the mark. Coming around all the way from second on a sac fly as the throw was offline was Blake Jacobs, so now it's 11-0.
Well, that'll do it, right? And again, Post 60's had a few errors here and there throughout the day that have really hurt them. So there they make another mistake, and their offense just hasn't been there today. The pitching hasn't been there. The defense really hasn't been there. So it's been a very tough day, and kind of uncharacteristic of this team because we've seen how well they've played toward the end of the season. So it's a weird day for them. And not the day that you want to have this kind of day. I mean, you never want to have it, but especially in an elimination day. Possibly.
So if you call that 2 RBIs for Cam Lynch, he's got 4 on the day. As now there's a 1-1 count to Logan Roadtruck.
Yeah, I think he'd only get credited for 1.
I think so. The other one was kind of an error.
An error there, yeah.
Roadtruck hits this one towards right field, over towards Wolf. Is he going to be able to make a play? No, it's over the fence. So foul ball, strike 2. 1-2 count, 11-0. Potomac Valley, post 64. Here in the bottom of the third. So if post 60 is not able to get up any runs on the board, or even just 1 run, as this one from Roadtruck's hit deep into right field, but it's going to curve foul. Went over the wall, but not able to stay fair for the home run.
He hit one yesterday, right? So
He sure did, over to left field.
we know he had the power, and the question was going to be, would that ball stay fair? And the answer was no. But yeah, I mean, you gotta like this post-64 team. It's tough to bounce back from the loss they took yesterday. The way they started this tournament, it did not look good at all for them, and then bounce back with this performance today so
Road
far.
Truck hits this one in the right center field. This is going to bloop in front of the right fielder for a base hit.
It may just be me, but it feels like this fielder, or just today, a lot of balls are just kind of dying out there. Like yesterday, they were all leaving the park, and then today they're just kind of falling in where nobody is.
Yeah.
That's been like the trend. Like it looks like it's going to get caught, and then falls in. Some of them went in post 14's favor earlier. Now we're seeing them go in post 64's favor here in game 2.
Ball one to J.J. Charlton as he did square around the bunt. I believe that was the first hit that Pence has actually given up, despite having given up 4 runs. Or, excuse me, I believe 3 runs. Strike one. I guess he could be credited with the wild pitch that allowed the 8th run to come across and score. But that runner got on from Ian Wolf. And this is going to be a base hit by Charlton. Right past second base. Another 2-out hit. So once again, batting around for the second inning in a row is post 64.
Usually not a good sign if you're on the other side of that, but for post 64, J.J. Charlton, he's just, seems to be a base hit machine for this team, and they've batted around. We've seen some great at-bats. We've seen kind of post 60 run out pitching, it feels like. Landon Pence is giving it, his all, but like I said, he did pitch yesterday. Now, he didn't pitch a deep game or anything like that, but still, you warm up, you throw 30 pitches. That's still a lot of work, especially at this age, to come back the next day and try to do something similar for your team. So, yeah, they're running low on pitching, it feels like, and post 64 is taking advantage of it. And also, it's been a long day. They've been out of the sun and the heat earlier.
So it looks like from what I just heard, sounds like post 60 is asking a fan to be ejected. And I just heard the base umpire say, "No, sir, I do not eject fans." So I don't know what that's about exactly, but that's what I just heard.
That's kind of wild. Never heard of that one before. But I don't know, have you heard anything that sounded too
No, they're pointing up
rough
towards. Maybe Aiden's heard something because it's over towards him in the main camera, somewhere behind him there. But
fair, okay. I wasn't sure if it was somebody below us or something like that, but no, I haven't obviously heard anything, and I'm not really going to speak on it even if I did, because at this point we got to play baseball. Look, I understand if somebody's saying something terrible, but the umpire doesn't feel like it's terrible, then he's in control of the game, he's in control of the situation.
there's definitely some yelling now from a fan up above towards Aiden.
Right, I heard some stuff there, but
even heard Peyton Girardin yelling "grow up" at somebody, and I think it might be at whatever fan is up there, unless it was at his own dugout, which I kind of doubt he'd be.
I always thought that was the fan yelling that, so I honestly don't know what's going on, but I just hope we can play baseball. Let's just continue this thing. We had delays due to rain. It's 11-0.
Right.
Like
what do we?
Let's just all have some fun, play some ball, and
it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game.
What are we doing?
I don't know what's going on, but whatever it is, let's not take it too serious.
Like, if we're complaining about calls, I can assure you the umpires have not given Potomac Valley 11 runs. So
for sure.
1-1 1-1 count after that foul ball. And we'll have another foul ball, follow that one up. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning. Runners on first and second. Jacob netting. Chance to try to keep it extending this lead as this ball goes into the dirt, bounces in front of Everhart. Looks like that one stung him a little bit. It's a 2-2 count. He's able to block it, but he's in a little bit of pain. Pence walks all the way behind home plate to grab the ball from him to then walk it back and give his catcher a little bit longer of a break. A few extra seconds. It's another long inning for Post 60 that they really just want to be able to get out of. Because they got to work on trying to get this game back in it for themselves. Even though it might feel an impossible task, at the very least, with the score 11-0, if you can't get 2 runs up on the board at the very least, depending on what Post 64 does, then you've only got 6 outs to work with.
I mean, yeah, and as long as there's still outs on the board, I don't think these guys are obviously going to give up, but it is tough at 11-0.
Ball 4 as the runners go on the full count pitch.
But there is still baseball left to be played, so you never really know. But here we are. We got bases loaded, so it just continues to be a big inning for Post 64 and a big momentum shift.
Brings up Chase Davis. He's had a single and a pop up to the shortstop in his 2 at-bats, and he's going to hit this one over to the ground towards first base. Brian French brings it in, steps on the base for the 3rd out. But now it's 11-0. Potomac Valley Post 64 as we head to the 4th inning. Let's see if the Post 60 Knights can cut back into this, at the very least avoid a run rule. Take a 60-second break and be back with more American Legion baseball at Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I do.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
I can't believe you didn't fill up.
That's double my rent. Not my car.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
You had one job.
It's between girls.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor. And then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Top of the 4th inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance. Reliable coverage since 1877. You can call 304-263-0809 for a quote today or visit fmiwv.com. It's 11-0. Post 64 over Post 60 in this elimination game in the Area 4, West Virginia American Legion Baseball Tournament. Dylan Bishop and Nick Verzolini with you on the call. Aiden Sensabaugh behind the camera on TV 10. Talia Tompkins and Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. So see if Post 60 can get any runs up on the board on Cam Lynch, who has not pitched in a while. His first pitch is going to be a base hit into left field in front of Chase Davis for Mason Everhart.
Yeah, shout out Aiden, working hard with the cameras, getting them covered, first of all, with our main camera when the rain was happening, and then bringing the other one in. So he's doing a lot. We appreciate him. Shout out you, Dylan.
Shout out you, Nick. 65 pitches for Cam Lynch so far. His first one to Kyle Moore for this at-bat is a swinging strike one.
Yeah, Colin, Talia, they're working hard back there.
Absolutely.
Colin is the entire station pretty much this week. So
he is almost literally the only person in the studio for most of this week. The second pitch bounces, allows Everhart to run over to second base. I mean, somebody's got to keep Colin company over there, because when Mike Hornby's not there for the for Eastern Panhandle talk afterwards, once Sports Mix time rolls around, who knows? Who might be there for Colin? This next one's hit on the ground, and picking it up and stepping on first is Uriah Cutter.
I'm just letting you roll with that statement there, Dylan. When it gets to be 11-0, sometimes things go off the rails a little bit.
I'm just saying, Colin deserves some help, and he's getting it today.
For sure, yeah, no.
Runner on third with one out now. Brian French comes back up to bat for his second time. He's going to swing and miss at the first pitch. Oh, 1 count. Here's a pitch from Lynch. That'll be strike 2. French watches it go past the plate. Now Lynch readies again. This is going to be hit high into the right field territory, but out of play as it goes foul. So far from Lynch, 2 hits given up, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Strike 3 called, make it 4 strikeouts for Cam Lynch as Brian French goes down looking.
You see French a little bit frustrated there. I mean, but again, when it gets to this point of the game, you got to attack the baseball. You got to swing the bat. You can't just expect the umpire to bail you out.
Ian Wolf is going to hit this one foul down towards left field.
Because they're going to call it tighter. I mean, it's just human nature. When the game feels a little bit more out of reach, if it's close, you're probably going to call it a strike. So you got to, go up with that approach and be consistent with it.
Looks like we have a pinch runner over at third, that being Braden Clark, for the courtesy runner for the catcher, Mason Everhart. Now, I think the home plate umpire had to check and make sure that Ian Wolf was still legally in the game, because I believe he was pitching and then went over to right field. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2. Wolf grounded out to shortstop. Will force out the second base and is only at bat so far. This is going to be a foul ball off the catcher. So Braden Clark is the courtesy runner on third base here with 2 outs, trying to get Post 60's first run up on the board in this 11-0 ball game. Here comes pitch number 75 from Cam Lynch. It's a ball outside.
And with the big offensive innings that Post 64 has had, you got to be impressed with Cam Lynch, because it can be tough. Sometimes when your offense is.
Wolf is going to hit this one high and deep in the right center field, but underneath it and making the catch for out number 3 is Jacob Netting. So they get a runner to third base, but Post 60 can't drive in their first run of the game. Still 11-0, Post 64. And they'll come up in the bottom of the 4th. The last chance, try to add on to some insurance if they want a 5-run mercy rule victory. Take a 60-second break, and we'll come back with more American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer. But that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Welcome to CMA's Honda of Winchester, where you can drive an award-winning lineup of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, Accords, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and more at CMA's Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more. Welcome to CMA's Honda of Winchester, where you can drive an award-winning lineup of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, Accords, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and more at CMA's Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more.
New pitcher for post 60, Peyton Girardin. Moves over from shortstop to the pitching mound. Landon Pence will go back to shortstop where he started the game. He ends the day after 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 4 runs given up. Bottom of the 4th inning is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to FordofHagerstown.com. It'll be the 8-9 one-hitters for post 64 up. Currently up 11-0, so when post 60 comes up, they'll have just 3 outs to try to get, at the very least, 2 runs, maybe more if post 64 adds on to this, or else we'll be wrapped up after 5 innings in both of these games here today.
Not what you expected, right? I mean, with how close the games have been for these teams, for the most part, I mean, we talked about the high scoring games that we had in the post 60, post 64 matchups, but yeah, heading into the day, I expected some more quality games in terms of low scoring, kind of grounded out games, but we really didn't get that. And I think there's a combination of reasons why. Overall, I think Game 1 came down to, just post 14 was pretty much unhittable with Boober, and their bats were back and looking really good. And then in this game, I think post 64 just jumped on them early, and it was like, we just got run ruled, and now we're in this situation again, and we're kind of running out of pitchers. And so I think that kind of led to this game being not very competitive. But give credit to post 14, post 64, and really overall post 60. The improvements they've made from last year, this year, I think have been pretty significant. So they're continuing to get better. They're just not quite there that they can advance in this tournament. But, hey, they won yesterday, and it was an exciting game. So all 3 teams are going to walk away from the tournament with something, I think, to be proud of, even though today didn't really go post 60's way at all.
Tyson Arnold starts out the inning. We have a 1-1 count after a ball and then a foul ball.
And that's presuming, of course, we don't see an unbelievable comeback here. Which this would be one that we would talk about for decades.
It would be pretty unbelievable. Especially with the way Cam Lynch has pitched.
Yeah, and just post 60s running out of gas, it feels like, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, running out of gas, running out of pitching as this next pitch is over the head. Tyson Arnold, and this kind of feels like Girardin is the last gasp of, once you get past him.
He's the last boss.
The final boss?
Yeah, I mean.
2-1 count. This is going to be a just barely foul ball down towards the left field line.
I mean, yeah, no, I don't know if anybody else. I'm not too familiar with all these players because a few of them are Berkeley Springs.
We've seen about half the roster pitch through 3 games. I mean, there's truly not that many options left.
There can't be. You would figure, right?
2-2 count, swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 out after 1 batter faced.
But yeah, like Clark, Ward, Anders, and Moore, I'm not too familiar with, so I don't know if they can pitch if they absolutely had to, or one of them can, but I think at this point it's just we need to throw somebody that has some life yet left, and Girardin has that.
Ball 1 to a pinch hitter, number 12, I believe, to pull up the roster to get this back. Someone we saw yesterday, yes, Hunter Haar. So second pitch is also a ball.
Because I think initially the thought was, okay, Ian Wolf, if he can give us a deep outing, give us at least 5-6 innings, and we have a chance to win, then Gerardin's going to be our starter tomorrow, I would presume. And that's why we hadn't seen him to this point, because that was kind of the plan.
And here's Haar with a sharply hit ball into center field, and that's going to be just under the glove of Ian Wolf, who's moved to center field. It's going to allow Haar to get to second base.
Yeah, and Post 64 can definitely sense it that they're going to have a great chance to head back to the state tournament. Again, Post 14 is already there anyway heading into this thing, but also this was the elimination game. The runner-up is getting in automatically no matter what happens tomorrow in a normal year when Post 14 is not hosting. So this is essentially kind of a championship game, if you want to call it that, because Post 14's already punched their ticket. So while it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, they want to go into the state tournament hot, and I'm sure if we had any doubts that they were going to come to play, I think they proved that today, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, tomorrow the Area 4 championship won't be for any sort of state tournament qualifying, but it will be for, the bragging rights of being the area champion as the pitch is fouled off.
I'm presuming you get some sort of banner or something.
Yeah.
So, that's always nice to have. Trophy, whatever the case may be.
Noah Broadwater up for the fourth time. This pitch skips past the catcher. So going to let Haar move from second to third. It's a 2-1 count.
And it's always nice to head in as a champion and feel like you belong, feel like you earned your spot. And I think that's another thing that Post 14 can be happy with, is that they've at least earned their spot and it wasn't just handed to them because they hosted.
2-1 pitch is fouled off towards the third base dugout.
And now Post 64 is most likely going to be the ones to join them, and tomorrow will be a good game. I mean, these two teams have played really good games all year, so.
There's 2-2 outside for ball 3. So, assuming that this result will stand, it'll be Post 14 and Post 64 tomorrow for the area championship. Post 64 wins game 1, there'll have to be a game 2. Winner take all. But Post 14 is in a play 2 to win 1 situation.
That's a good point, Dylan. Yeah, I didn't want to forget about that, even though we've kind of looked at it as, okay, these two teams are out of the state championship, they just play a game tomorrow. But no, it is a 2-1-1, and we might see 2.
Broadwater is going to hit the full count pitch over in the right field, coming over, making a diving attempt at it, and no dice.
I'll tell you what, man.
Jacob Cumley over in right field, who checked in. He's, I believe, due up first in the top of the 5th.
At this point, it kind of does feel like Post 60 is just going for the highlight reel catches out there. Because everybody's diving out.
Yeah. Trying to get the outs whenever they can.
That's true as well. I mean, you want to try to limit, if you are going to somehow come back, any more than 11, it just gets that much harder.
There's ball 4. So Broadwater will get on for the third time today. The 1-out walk. So runners on the corners now for Blake Jacobs. We hit 9 o'clock on the dot. 16 pitches in for Peyton Girardin. He'll get a visit from his catcher. I think trying to smooth out a little bit of dirt on the pitcher's mound. Get a little bit of a talk between the battery mates. Jacobs comes to the plate having a double, single, and walk in his first 3 at-bats. So 4 innings and 4 at-bats for the top of the lineup of Post 64. And he's going to be first pitch swinging. It's going to be a deep fly ball into right field, but it looks like Cumley is going to lose it in the lights, and it's going to go over towards him. And that was...
There's a ground rule double.
Ground rule double.
Looks like.
To me, it didn't. I couldn't tell from here. I thought it was still in play, but Cumley clearly, as he looked up into the lights, lost it in the lights, and it bounced away from him, and he could have kind of just called, I can't see it. Yeah, he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. So it's 12-0 with a runner on second and third now. As Cam Lynch comes up and swings through the first pitch. Still one out. It's now 12-0 Potomac Valley. Post 64. And ball 1 to even the count. And Cam Lynch will foul off the next one. Hunter Harris scored on the ground rule double. And now it's a 2-2 count. So another run added on by Potomac Valley, making it harder for Post 60 to extend this game in the top of the fifth. And now ball 3 comes in. Girardin readies with the payoff pitch. And it runs way inside. That'll be a ball. Ball 4, as it should be, unless that clipped Lynch on the bat. No, okay. He's starting his walk down the first base now.
Initially, I thought it was going to hit him.
Lynch reacted as if that wasn't ball 4, so maybe he thought it was ball 3. I don't know. But either way, that it was ball 4, and it'll load the bases.
Yeah, whether it hit him or not, I mean, he would have been on first.
We have a pinch hitter in the spot of Logan Roetruck. I believe it's going to be it's going to be Alex Miller. We saw pinch hit yesterday. Strike 2 called on the second pitch. Thought for a second it was number 9, Owen Roetruck, replacing Logan. So the next pitch is a ball, but it's number 8, Alex Miller. Girardin will step off the rubber for a second. Now step back on after a short timeout. And the pitch. Miller hits this one towards the first base gap, and it does find it into right field. 1 run will score, and a second will as well. Broadwater and Jacobs come across. It's a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0. Potomac Valley.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting rough out there, obviously. Post 60 just hasn't had it on the mound at all. And everybody they seem to throw out there has gotten roughed around a little bit today by either Post 14 or Post 64. And it's just been a clinic from especially Post 64, it feels like, in this game today, just hitting the ball all over the yard. Everybody's hitting, pinch hitters.
So the end result is runners still in the corners in a 14-0 game. Ball 1 into J.J. Charlton.
Feels like even the courtesy runners are in.
And there's still only 1 out. Swing and a miss. So this will be another inning, barring a double play, that we see a total batting around of the lineup. This is the 9th batter of the inning, so we at least see everyone getting that bat again. The next pitch is in for ball 2. Jacob Netting is on deck. Started this inning off with a walk. And Charlton's going to pop this one up, but it's foul and out of play. Makes the count 2-2. Charlton readies again. Here's the pitch. The breaking ball breaks too far. It's 3-2. Now another payoff pitch from Girardin, and he got him. Cut and a miss from Charlton. Another strikeout. Second one so far for Peyton Girardin. It's the 3rd one of the day for Charlton at the plate. Jacob Netting steps back in, takes a ball on the first pitch. His 4th at bat, and it's his 3rd at bat in which it's been his 2nd at bat of the same inning. Strike 1. He's had a single, a strikeout, and a walk.
I mean, that's the sign of a good day right there, Doug.
Right?
Just for your team at the very least.
Right, ball 2. 2-1. Yeah, I'd say if 3 times you're batting twice in the same inning, your team probably won that day.
Or you had a very high-scoring game.
Yes, or your pitching staff has a lot of explaining to do. If not, foul ball on the next pitch. Two count. Gerard and Reddy's from the stretch. He'll throw, and ball 3 is called. So another full count. Runners on the corners. Runner at first will go. This is a pop-up. It looks like it's going to be playable. Mason Everhart misses the ball.
It's just been that day. Like that. Anything that could go wrong does. I don't really know.
I think
the catcher shouldn't be making that play.
Yeah, the pitcher, first baseman's got to call that off. It ends up an RBI single, I guess, unless you want to call it an error.
I mean, that's an error. Somebody's got to catch that.
True.
Like, even though nobody, I guess, technically made contact with it, but yeah, that's an error. I mean, whether you want to, well, it may not be Everhart's fault. He probably still gets an error there because I don't really feel like that should be his play. I feel like first baseman or pitcher should call him off there because it's just easier to come in than throw off the mask. The rain's coming down again, by the way.
Yep, strike 2.
I haven't talked about that in a few innings, so I thought I'd bring it back to relevance here because it has returned.
Caleb Kuhn is pinch hitting, and he's going to look at 3 straight strikes. First strikeout to end the 4th inning. So Potomac Valley, post 64, adds on 4 runs, 15-0 to go to the top of the 5th. 3.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
John's Pool Supplies, your local one-stop shop for all of your swimming pool needs. Located at 237 Eagle School Road, John's Pool Supplies has over 30 years of experience and a large selection of products, services, and supplies for your pool or hot tub. From custom liner installation and pool inspections to free water testing, call John's Pool Supplies at 304-267-2000 or go to johnspoolsupplies.com.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Top of the 5th inning on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 is brought to you by L.A. Roberts Jewelers, committed to excellence in quality, design, and craftsmanship, located at 146 North Queen Street in Martinsburg. 15-0 lead for post 64, Potomac Valley. Strike 1 as Cam Lynch goes back out. Pitching a gem so far. Pitching to Jacob Cumley. And Cumley's going to hit a line drive into right field, and that's going to drop in front of Jacob Netting, who's going to try his best to get a wild out at first base, but overthrows it anyway and goes to the catcher. So it's single for Jacob Cumley.
Yeah, might as well try, right?
Yep, and we'll get Kyle Rankin as another pinch hitter right after him. So it's only the 3rd hit allowed by Cam Lynch. So again, 15-0, top of the 5th. That means that post 60 needs 6 runs to avoid being 10-run ruled in 5 innings. 79 pitches so far from Cam Lynch. He can go to 105. Strike 1 into Rankin. Here's the next pitch. That one's in for a strike. It looks like the bench is going to be emptied out. Braden Clark is on the on-deck circle for post 60. Strike 2. And now a ball outside. Through 4 innings, Cam Lynch had given up 2 hits, 3 walks, had held 4 strikeouts, given up no runs.
He's been really good. And
he's going to get another strikeout there, called strike 3.
Yeah, and you got like Lynch out there on the mound, just being the right-hander. That he's pitched really well, and he's kept this lineup in check. And we talked about kind of the high-scoring games these two teams have had, but with Lynch, he stabilized the pitching after kind of a rough start yesterday from this team. So I think he kind of sets the tone with his pitching, and then the bats obviously gave him a ton of run support. So overall, just really almost a perfect performance from Post 64 in this one.
Ball 1 after a called strike 1.
And for Post 60, things just kept getting worse, it feels like. Unfortunately for them today. Just didn't have it.
Clark pops this one up. Cam Lynch calls for it immediately and brings it into the glove for out number 2. So, one more out. And Potomac Valley Post 64 is going to the state tournament.
And advancing to the area championship. So a chance to, if they're able to take 2 from Post 14, they win it. Now, that's going to be obviously a tough challenge because of the fact that Post 14 has that advantage. And, but, hey, you got the most important one out of the way. So tomorrow is really just, like you said, you get a championship possibly and some bragging rights. But other than that, it's really just a tune-up for the good competition you're going to see at States, and the fact that you obviously want to win the area, but this was the one that had the pressure, and Post 64 lived up to the hype and lived up to the pressure.
Braden Ward is the next pinch hitter. It's an 0-2 count to him. So one more strike. Cam Lynch will get his team through this elimination game and into the state tournament. Here's the pitch. Ball outside.
Close one, right, Dylan?
It was.
Well, at least it looked like it.
I'm a little surprised the umpire didn't just say, let's go home on that one.
He didn't want to yet.
Yep. Here's the 90th pitch from Lynch. Throw 1, and that's strike 3. That's the ball game. Potomac Valley Post 64 wins it in 5 innings, 15-0. A routing of Post 60 to advance to the state tournament and advance to the area championship game against Post 14 tomorrow at 5 o'clock, believe.
Yes.
Okay. Didn't want it to be 6 o'clock and be wrong about that. But so with that, we can just move on into the postgame. Postgame show is brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. What can you say? Post 64's pitcher pitched a gem, a 5-inning shutout, and frankly put, Post 60 ran out of pitching.
Yeah, Post 60 ran out of pitching. They really just didn't have it today, like I said. It almost feels like they didn't have any pitching today because things just weren't good for them. I think it just wasn't their day. They woke up today and it just didn't work out. And that happens. But overall, I think you're still happy with your season. You made improvements from last year. You went a little bit farther in terms of you won a game in this tournament, which I don't believe they did last year. So it's only the second year of the program that they just finished, and they've shown some good things. So hopefully, things continue with them and they continue to play well. But unfortunately, their season comes to a close here tonight, and overall, it just wasn't their day. Boober was great for Post 14, but also they just didn't have their pitching at all, and I think that's kind of the big summary. And also, their offense wasn't there, the defense wasn't there. It was just not a good day.
Nope. A game summary brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Some game stats brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. You can visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. Potomac Valley Post 64 gets a 5-inning shutout on 3 hits and 3 walks given up by Cam Lynch. He threw in 6 strikeouts for good measure. Then on the other side, he had 3 RBIs for Cam Lynch. At the plate, 2 RBIs for Blake Jacobs, 1 for Logan Roadtruck, 2 for Alex Miller, 2 for Uri Cutter, and 1 for Tyson Arnold with their day at the plate. So that moves us on to, I think, a pretty obvious player of the game. Brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Fast, fresh, friendly Rock's.
You got to be Lynch, right? I mean, he pitched really well on the mound, and like I said, that kind of set the tone. And anytime you get a big pitching performance in a big game, it allows, I think, your team to relax a little bit and lock in because you know, hey, we just get our guy. In this game, they only needed one run to win, but ended up getting them 15. So, yeah, great game. Great game for Lynch, great game for Post 64, and they came to play on the other side of things. We didn't really talk about it. They came to play today, so great game for them. Looking forward to tomorrow. I think it should be some fun.
Yep, we'll have the Area 4 Championship tomorrow, so it'll be, if Post 64 wins Game 1, there will be a winner-take-all Game 2. If Post 14 wins Game 1, they are the area champions. But either way, both teams move on to the state tournament next weekend. So, wrapping things up here from Kaiser, for Aiden Sensabaugh behind the camera, Talia Tompkins and Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, Nick Verzolini, I'm Dylan Bishop saying so long from Kaiser. We'll see you tomorrow, and we hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday night.
You've been tuned into American Legion Baseball for the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball. Keep it tuned to 106.5 FM, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online at talkradiowrnr.com.